This is the Santa Rosa Rural Cemetery, and it was established in 1854, which is basically the year that Santa Rosa was established. And of course, as settlers moved in, one of the first things they needed when someone died in the community was a burial spot. And at that point, this area was a grassy hillside owned by the Beaulieu family. And the first burial was a man named Thompson Mize in the handwritten coroner's record signed by Julio Carrillo. It stated that a young man was seen in downtown Santa Rosa in Mr. Hartman's store. The following morning, a body was found in a little pond that existed by the Santa Rosa Creek, and Thompson apparently had gotten dead drunk, fallen down in that pond, and drowned himself. So there's four men that are called the founding fathers of Santa Rosa: Thomas Hartman, Julio Carrillo, Yoder Hahman, and Barney Hoen. And of those four, three are buried here in the cemetery: Julio Carrillo, Barney Hoen, and Yoder Hahman. They're all here. As well as there's innumerable early politicians, early businessmen. Well, Julio Carrillo is probably the most interesting. He was the youngest son of Maria Carrillo, who was the woman who received the Mexican land grant for Santa Rosa. She lived here until 1850, and when she died, she gave her land holdings to her various children. Julio acquired about half of it, about 4,000 of the 8,000 acres. And as settlers came in, Julio formed an alliance with Yoder Hahman and Barney Hoen. And by 1854, Carrillo and Hoen and Hahman got together and decided that they would try to bring the county seat for Sonoma County to Santa Rosa, to a new Santa Rosa from Old Sonoma, by offering land to the county to encourage them to come here. So the two of them basically made this the county seat by offering Courthouse Square to the county, as well as building sites for the county building around there. By 1885 and 86, he was the custodian of the new courthouse. It was built on the square that he had given to the county in 1854 as an open park. Hoen and Hahman and Hartman were all individuals that arrived pretty much during the gold rush. They came for gold, probably went to the mines for some period of time, but like so many other gold seekers, were disappointed. So they began to fan out, all these gold seekers throughout California, looking for other opportunities. And they came across this beautiful valley and settled here. And Hahman and I believe it was Hoen opened up the first general store in the Carrillo adobe. Later on, they moved their stores to the beginning of downtown Santa Rosa once that original square was established in 1854. Dr. John Boyce was the first doctor who hung up his shingle here in the Santa Rosa area. He was the first doctor in Franklin, which was the small town that preceded Santa Rosa. It started about 1853. Then by 1856, he had moved to Santa Rosa. He did extremely well as a doctor, and by the 1860s, he had built a very large house on 3rd Street, one of the largest in town, a house that was saved from demolition in 1904 and moved to A Street and now stands just south of St. Rose Church. It's fascinating to walk around and see these tombstones and realize that these people were here during the Civil War. They were here during the Great Earthquake. They were here during all the great events that happened in Santa Rosa, and many of these people shaped this community. Their houses still stand down on our streets. They've given their names to our streets, so it's a real sense of connection to the history of this community.